Hey everyone, welcome back to Fluent English Power. I'm Luna. It feels awesome to be back with another episode.
Hi, Luna, and hello to all our amazing listeners out there. It's great to be here today.
Great to see you, Mason. How have you been?
I've been doing really well, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm super excited about today's episode. It's going to be really helpful for all English learners.
Perfect. So let's jump right into today's topic.
Okay, so if you're learning English, you probably know this feeling, right? It's super frustrating. You can read complex articles, you totally get the grammar rules, maybe your vocabulary notebook is huge, but then the moment comes to actually speak, and you just freeze. It feels like having this amazing, powerful engine, but you're just too scared to turn the key.
Oh yeah, that's the classic intermediate trap. It really is.
Yeah.
Learners soak up so much passive knowledge, tons of input, but they haven't built up the muscle memory, I guess, or the mental pathways to actually use that knowledge quickly in a real conversation. It's all been about intake, not output.
Exactly. And that gap, that's where so many people who are genuinely trying hard just get stuck.
Yeah.
Permanently sometimes. So today's deep dive, what we want to do is give you a really clear, practical roadmap, like step by step, to help you upgrade your English from just okay to actually fluent. And we're skipping the boring grammar drills. Forget those endless workbooks. We're focusing on two things: building habits that stick, that are sustainable, and using something called the active feedback loop to correct yourself smartly and speed things up.
Right. It's not about just grinding harder. It's about working smarter, making your learning efficient. We want to help you turn that passive knowledge into active, real communication power.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, first things first, the foundation. Our sources really emphasize this. Consistency beats intensity. Every single time. Most people think, oh, I need these marathon study sessions, blocking out 3 hours on a Saturday, getting all stressed out. But honestly, all the research shows that just leads straight to burnout. It's not sustainable. The real key to making steady progress that actually lasts, is building a simple daily English habit, something you actually enjoy, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a reason for that. Neurologically speaking, it's about how memory works, how we consolidate learning. Your brain just responds way better to short, frequent, low-stress inputs spread out over time. If you try to cram everything in during these massive, infrequent sessions, you just overload the system. You get diminishing returns and, honestly, a lot of anxiety, too. The goal should be making English just a natural part of your environment, not some terrifying task you dread.
Okay, so practically, what does that look like? Especially for someone who's, busy, we don't all have hours to spare. We're talking about weaving English into your existing day, right? Not trying to magically find extra time.
Exactly. Think about bookending your day. Small things, like your morning routine. While you're making coffee, having breakfast, whatever, just commit to reading a few sentences. Or maybe listen to a really short podcast clip, like 4 minutes. It's tiny, I know. But it just sets the tone for the day. English is present.
And then mirror that in the evening.
Yeah, pretty much. The sources suggest a couple of really good low-effort evening habits. One is quickly reviewing a small bit of vocabulary right before you go to sleep. Helps it stick. Or, and I really like this one, write a super quick journal entry just about your day, even if it's only, say, 3 to 5 sentences. It forces you to retrieve words and structure thoughts quickly, but with zero pressure. Nobody's grading it.
And we should probably use our phones for this, shouldn't we? I mean, they're always with us.
Definitely. Use technology smartly. Your phone can be a huge asset here, not just a distraction. Find YouTube channels, podcasts, articles, but crucially, find things you're genuinely interested in. Stuff in English, not necessarily about English. If you like cooking, find cooking channels. History, science, whatever floats your boat. And yeah, use your phone's reminders. Set a little notification to nudge you towards that small daily goal. Don't rely on willpower alone.
Right. So the big picture here with consistency is, it's simple, really. These little daily steps, they just make English become a natural kind of background part of your life. Not stressful, just there. And slowly, day by day, your skills improve. But okay, these small steps have to include speaking, don't they? If fluency is built with the voice, well, you have to speak daily. That's non-negotiable.
Yes. And that's often where the fear kicks in, isn't it? People avoid speaking because they're scared of messing up, of being judged instantly, or just the general messiness of real talk. So the advice is to start with the lowest possible stakes, the absolute least scary method, self-talk.
Okay, self-talk. Section 2 in the roadmap talks about this. And yeah, full disclosure, it feels really weird at first. I've tried it. But apparently, It builds fluency and confidence surprisingly fast. The basic idea is you literally just describe what you're doing as you're doing it. Narrate your own life out loud, like, okay, I'm pouring milk into my cereal bowl now, or, right, I'm waiting for the bus. I should probably check the weather app.
It sounds maybe a bit silly, I get that. But it's actually incredibly important. When you do self-talk, you're forcing your brain to skip the translation step. You're going straight from the thought or the action into English phrasing. Think about it. If you struggle to describe simple, everyday actions in English, how are you going to handle a complex idea in a conversation?
Okay, that makes sense. But here's the big question the one listeners always ask. If I'm only talking to myself, how do I know I'm not just practicing my mistakes over and over, reinforcing bad habits?
That's the perfect transition, because that's exactly where this daily habit connects to the next crucial piece.
Yeah.
The feedback accelerator. Self-talk gets the engine running, gets you producing language. But the really powerful tool for self-coaching is voice recording. You absolutely need to commit to recording yourself speaking. Just 2 or 3 minutes every single day. Talk about anything. What happened today, the news, tell a story, explain your plans for tomorrow. Just talk.
And that recording, that's the key that unlocks the real accelerator, right? What separates the intermediate learners from the truly fluent speakers? The active feedback loop.
Absolutely. The research could be clearer on this. An active feedback loop is non-negotiable for accelerated learning. It's this constant cycle. You produce something, you review it, self-monitoring, maybe you get some outside correction, and then, if it's critical, you practice the corrected form until it feels natural. It builds real resilient confidence because you actually learn how to spot and fix your own errors. You learn how to recover.
Okay, so let's dig into that. How do we actually use those recordings or those little journal entries? How do we turn that raw stuff into useful feedback for ourselves?
Okay, first step. Listen back to your recording.
Yeah.
And you need to be, well, ruthless but kind to yourself. You'll immediately notice things. Where did you hesitate too long? Which filler words did you lean on? Did you keep stumbling over a certain sound or word? You're basically becoming your own language detective, your own auditor. And you can do the same with your writing, like that daily journal entry. Look for patterns. Are you always messing up prepositions? Is there a specific verb tense that trips you up? Track it.
And I guess technology can help here too, right? Especially with locking in vocabulary.
Oh, for sure. This is where we need to talk about active recall versus just passive recognition.
Yeah.
Big difference. Most people review flashcards and they just kind of recognize the word. Oh, yeah, I know that one. We need to force recall. Make your brain actively pull the word out of storage. That's why tools like Anki are so effective. They use spaced repetition.
Spaced repetition. That's the thing where the app shows you the word right before you're about to forget it.
Exactly. It's clever. The algorithm tracks when your memory for a specific item is likely getting weak, and boom, it prompts you right then. So instead of wasting time reviewing stuff you already know solid, it targets those moments where the memory is fragile. If you spend, just say, 5 or 10 minutes a day actively trying to recall vocab with one of these tools, your retention goes way up, much better than just staring at lists. It helps move words from your passive, I understand this bank, into your active bank. I can actually use this when speaking bank.
Makes sense, but okay, self-coaching, self-review. They can only take you so far,
Yeah.
right? We all have blind spots. We need outside eyes and ears sometimes.
Absolutely correct. Getting external input is crucial for spotting things you just can't see or hear yourself. Tutors or mentors, they provide that expert, personalized feedback. They're like a language personal trainer. They can pick up on subtle things, nuances in pronunciation, connected speech, intonation that you're probably completely unaware of.
And if getting a professional tutor regularly isn't an option, maybe turn to peers, language partners.
Yes, definitely embrace peer correction. Use language exchange apps. There are tons like HelloTalk, Tandem, italki. Connect with people. This is where you get practice in real, messy, unpredictable conversations. With the pauses, the interruptions, the slang. Real-life talk isn't neat and tidy like a textbook dialogue. Training in that slightly chaotic environment is vital.
So when we get that feedback, whether it's from ourselves listening back or from a tutor or a language partner, we've spotted the mistake. What's the next step? Just acknowledging it isn't enough, is it?
Not at all. The real work is correcting smartly. It's not just about putting a check mark next to the error. You need to dig a bit deeper. Understand, why did that error happen? Was it a forgotten rule? Was it maybe translating too directly from your native language? What's the pattern? Then you isolate that correct form and practice it. Drill it a little, use it in sentences until it starts to feel automatic, unconscious. You can use tools like Grammarly or the Hemingway app for writing. They're good for spotting awkward sentences or common errors. But again, the goal isn't just to click accept suggestion. Use the tool to understand the pattern of your mistakes so you can fix the underlying issue.
And underpinning all of this, there's a really important mindset shift, isn't there? This seems like the biggest hurdle for so many intermediate learners. It's the fear of making mistakes in the first place.
Oh, massively. You have to consciously decide to stop being afraid of errors. Seriously. Every single mistake is just data. That's all it is. It's a little signpost pointing you directly towards what you need to work on next. If you try to speak 5 times and you make 5 mistakes, great. That's 5 specific things you just learned you need to improve. If you stay silent because you're scared of messing up, you learn absolutely nothing, 0 progress.
That really flips the script, puts the power back in your hands.
Okay, so we're speaking daily, we're getting feedback, we're correcting smartly. How do we pull it all together? How do we train our ears and mouths to sync up so we actually sound more natural?
Right, so this leads us nicely into techniques that specifically train that coordination. And one of the most powerful methods is called shadowing.
Shadowing. Okay, I've heard of this. It sounds simple, maybe deceptively so. You just play a short audio or video clip of a native speaker, and you repeat what they're saying almost immediately, right? Like an echo, just a second or two behind, no pausing the audio, just keep talking along with them. Exactly. And the genius of it is that it forces your brain to do several things at once. Listen really actively, process the sounds and rhythm, and then immediately command your mouth to mimic the output, all simultaneously. It kind of bypasses the part of your brain that wants to stop and analyze grammar. It's more about training the physical motor skills of speech, almost like learning an instrument by ear.
And I guess when you're listening that intently to keep up, you naturally start hearing things like connected speech better, how native speakers actually talk fast.
Precisely. We don't usually pronounce every single word perfectly and separately in normal conversation. That would sound robotic. We blend sounds, we reduce sounds. Sometimes you drop them all together. Linguists call it things like elision and assimilation. For example, did you eat yet? Often becomes, did you eat yet? Or maybe, what are you doing? Sounds more like, what's you're doing?
I need to go.
Becomes, I need to go, right? Learning to recognize these patterns is crucial for understanding native speakers at normal speed. And just as importantly, using some of them yourself makes your own speech flow much more naturally.
Okay, so shadowing helps with the flow and picking up connected speech. What about really nailing the rhythm and the music of the language, the intonation?
That's where the final technique comes in, mimicry. It's similar to shadowing, but more focused. You choose a specific native speaker whose accent or style you like. Find a short clip, maybe a sentence from a TED Talk, a line from a movie.
Okay.
Then you pause the clip after that short phrase or sentence, and you try to replicate it exactly. I mean exactly, not just the words. Match their speed, their pitch, their rhythm, the pauses, even the emotion in their voice.
Okay. So it's less about just repeating the sounds and more about capturing the overall delivery, the melody.
Exactly. The rise and fall of your voice, where you put the stress on syllables, that's intonation and rhythm. It carries so much meaning in English. It signals confidence, questions, certainty, doubt, all sorts of things. When you practice matching a native speaker's rhythm and intonation, you start to sound less hesitant, much more fluent. Even if your vocabulary isn't perfect yet, it makes a huge difference to how you're perceived. So as we kind of wrap this up, bringing it all together, these 2 main pillars we've talked about, consistency and the active feedback loop they really need to connect back to that core mindset shift we mentioned. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's just not. It's about communication.
Yeah, we said it near the beginning, but it's worth saying again. Stop chasing this impossible ideal of perfect English. It doesn't exist. Start building real, effective communication skills. Use those simple morning and evening habits we talked about. Make sure you're speaking every day, even if it's just talking to yourself initially. And then actively look for feedback from recordings, from writing, from others, and use those mistakes to learn smartly. Don't fear them.
Because knowing this stuff is one thing, right? Knowledge is just potential. Applying it, doing it consistently, that's where the real power lies. So maybe we can leave you with a final thought, something provocative from the source material to mull over. Real fluency often starts when you set specific, simple, measurable goals with deadlines.
Right. So the question for you listening right now is, what specific goal are you tracking? Is it maybe I want to be able to have a 10-minute conversation with a language partner completely in English by June? Or maybe I'm going to record a 5-minute video of myself confidently explaining my job or my hobby by October. Whatever it is, write it down, make it concrete, track it. And remember, every small step, every consistent action brings you closer. Keep pushing forward.
And that's all for today's episode of Fluent English Power.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed learning with us today.
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely, and we'd love to hear from you.
So, tell us in the comments, how was today's video? What did you learn new today?
Your feedback really means a lot and helps us make even better episodes for you.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you in the next episode. Keep learning and keep shining.